Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. This week I'm going to do a video I've been wanting to get around to for a while. It's going to be on my Nails 101 playlist. I've been wanting to do a video about just how you sculpt a basic hard gel nail. My process anyway. So, and then I'm going to do some Pride Month nails on top of it. Super simple. They look a lot more complicated than they are. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we're starting out. I've already got my dry manicure done, which is getting all the cuticle removed off of my nail plate, removed my previous set, and I have gone around and made sure that I have filed any new nail that has grown out, and there's no shiny spots left on my nails at all. You want to make sure everything is roughed up. Gel will not stick to a shiny surface. So next, what I'm doing now is I am getting my nails clean. And I'm using my nail cleanser and just getting good and deep into like the sidewalls and around the cuticle area, making sure there's no dust or debris, and making sure that nail is just as clean as it can possibly be. And nail cleanser, I think it usually also disinfects too. So yeah, that's a very important step. Make sure you're getting underneath, and yeah, you want to make sure they're just clean, clean, clean. Okay, now here is where it might vary. It probably will vary for most of you. You want to go with whatever the hard gel that you're using. You want to go with the prep products that they recommend, I feel like. Sometimes you kind of have to mix and match, but yeah, I try and stick with the system if I can. So, I'm using my dehydrator. This is one product that you can use whatever you want pretty much. I feel like dehydrators, they're all pretty much the same. It's just like alcohol and acetone and a couple of other things that they just dry out your nail, and some other stuff in there makes it like evaporate off of your nail really quickly so you can move on to the next step. But I like to go over my nails twice. I like to get the surrounding skin. This is one product you can get on your skin. It probably will not hurt you unless you are extremely sensitive or have a sensitivity to like alcohol, acetone, the other things that are in dehydrators. So yeah, your nails will get like a white cast to them. That's what you want to see. It means they're dry. So next, I'm going in with the LGN Pro rubber base. I like to always use a rubber base. I feel like for my nails, it's what works the best. Now, this is the process I have worked out over the last few years that works for me. I have very naturally thin and weak nails, very problematic nails that gel does not like to stick to. So this is kind of what I have to do to make sure that my nails last. So what I've done is I have gotten the brush out of the rubber base bottle, and I have scraped off most of the gel back into the bottle. My brush is almost dry here, and I'm just getting a tiny little bit on each nail, and I'm not worrying too much about, making sure it's going everywhere, because this step here, I get my number 6 oval brush. You can use whatever kind of brush you want, but this is the one I use for this. And the little bit of base coat that I've put on each nail, this is where I spread it all over the nail, making sure I'm getting every bit of the natural nail that's exposed. You don't have to worry too much about any leftover gel you've got on there from your last set, but making sure you're getting your natural nail covered in this, and I'm just kind of scrubbing it in to my nail. I'm just kind of working it in, getting it down in all that texture that I created when I filed my nails, when I was doing my dry manicure part. And you don't want to have a lot on there. You want to still be able to see the texture on them. And once I've got that very thin coat on there, I cure, and then I go back over and do it a second time. Exactly the same. I've tried skipping the second time, and the adhesion just is not as good. But like I said, this is what works for my nails. Everybody's nails are going to be different. You're going to have to figure out what works for you, what products work best for you, what steps you need to take, all that. So now I've gotten each layer cured, and now I'm ready to start my extensions. Now there's several different kinds of extensions you can do. You can use pre-made tips. You can use full dual forms. I have made my own dual form tips. I'm going to be using this True Nude. I've mixed this color. It's not the original color. If you buy it, this will not be what you get. So anyway, I have a much more detailed video on these dual form tips. I will link it. But basically, I've just cut down dual forms because I wanted to use the free edge for the shape. So I'm making my own tips is what I'm doing. So here I am getting just a little bit into the cut edge of the dual form, just a very thin layer, just enough to connect to my natural nail and a little bit to come out for the next step. You'll see why I left that little bit sticking out here in a minute, and get it on my nail and make sure it's straight. And once I've got it on there straight and positioned correctly, I give it a little flash cure. I don't know why my light is blinking like that on screen. Sorry about that. Just enough for it to grab. It should only take 4 or 5 seconds. And then I flip it over and fill in the rest of the dual form. The reason I do it in the different steps like this is because I learned really quickly that if I tried to fill in the entirety of the dual form all at once, when I grabbed it to put it on my nail, I was getting it all over my other hand. So this I feel like this is the best process. I have found out this is called the underlay technique. So just some, knowledge to share. So yeah, finishing out the little bit of gel that I had in there and making sure my sides are covered. I've got all my edges. The whole thing is filled in with a very thin layer of gel. And I put them in my full-size lamp and given them a full cure. And this is what we have. So these tips are very thin. Like they're half the thinness of a pre-made tip. They're so thin. So I found out that to get the sticky layer off the bottom, it's best to do that before you take the dual form off. It gives you that extra little support. So that's why I still have them on here. And yeah, you've definitely got to get under there and get all that sticky layer out. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And once I get them good and wiped and good and clean and all that inhibition layer gone, then I can take those off. So to get them off, all I do is just give them a squeeze. And you hear that like pop, crack noise that dual forms make when they release. And then just pop them all off. And then there you've got your own tip. Like I said, I'll go into this process in a lot more detail, how to cut the dual forms, how to size them, fit them, all that in another video. Like I said, I will leave it linked for you all. Since I've started doing this, I don't even use my pre-made tips anymore. This is how I do it. So yeah, I've got all my dual form tips off, and you want to make sure that they are all the same length. So I measure from my cuticle and make sure that they're all the same length, because now is the time to fix them. And yeah, they're all lined up. They're all good. So I have given them a little file down the sides and gone over the top where that little ridge was to get it off and wiped them. And now the next step is to get some hard gel on there. So I like to start out with just a thin layer on each nail and just basically painting it on. This is another one of those things that it's an extra step, but it works better for adhesion. You want a thin layer of gel cured so it adheres better to the rubber base layer underneath, and then you can put more on top. It just, I don't know, it works. So yeah, I've gotten that cured. I've done that to every nail and gotten it cured. And I've already done my pinky nail. So to actually sculpt the nail, first thing you want to do after you got that thin layer on and cured, then you want to go in with another thin layer. Same thing, just painting it on, making sure you're covering the whole nail. You'll hear people call this a slip layer. I've heard it called a wetting layer or a base layer. It doesn't matter what you call it, you need it. This tells the next scoop of gel where you want it to go, because gel will follow gel. And it helps that next scoop kind of like slip and slide around your nail. And when it comes to self-leveling, wow, car just drove by with a radio on really loud. Sorry if y'all heard that. What was I saying? Yeah, it helps this next scoop. It tells this next scoop where to go, and it helps it slip and slide around the nail. So for like self-leveling, yeah, it works really good. So what I'm doing here, I've picked up my scoop of gel and I'm letting it kind of drop down to the end of my brush, and almost to where it's getting ready to fall off of the brush is the way I like to do it. And then that way it releases really well. So I get that big ball of gel on there and release it from my brush, and then just kind of walk it down my nail side to side. This is called a printer technique if you're interested, and because it's like a printer head, side to side, side to side, print, print, print. So I get that on there, and yeah, it doesn't look good right now, but I've got the right amount of gel on there. So this is where I come in with my little detailer brush and kind of coax it into where I want it to be. I tend to be kind of heavy-handed with my brushes, so that's why I switched to this one. I feel like this works better than using that other brush that I just laid down to do all this. I feel like this doesn't dig into the gel as much. It moves it a little less. So yeah, as it's self-leveling, this just kind of helps coax it into where I want it to be. I'm trying to get it as close as possible to the finished shape I want. And that, to me, that's one of the good things about gel. It does not cure until you tell it to, until you stick it in a lamp. So I flip my hand upside down and letting gravity pull it back to the center of my nail. And that helps with your apex and your shape and everything. It's a great little trick. I use it on every nail. You'll see me do it all the time. So yeah, once it's done that, I look at it again and see if I need to move the gel around. If not, I'll stick it in a lamp. If I need to move it around some more, I'll move it around some more. If it starts moving towards my sides, I'll flip my finger back over. And yeah, I hold on to my finger because they tend to kind of shake a little bit, especially that finger and my pinky finger. They kind of jump sometimes and do their own thing. So yeah, that's why I tend to hold my nails as I've got them, or hold my finger as I've got it upside down. But yeah, once I decide that it looks good, I've got the shape I want, I cure it. So yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'll shut up for a few minutes and let y'all watch. So I've got them all cured. Next step is wiping off that sticky layer. You'd be amazed at, I go on Amazon or different websites to buy different gel products, and you'd be amazed at the people that think that the sticky layer means, the sticky layer from any gel means that it didn't cure. Gel will, most of them will have this inhibition layer. It's just how gel works. So yeah, make sure you get all that off. And this is the shape I've got. And I'm going to give them a file and a buff and a clean and all that. And that's where we are now. So yeah, this is the shape that I got. I didn't have to do a lot of filing. They're very thin on the free edge. And oh, this shape this set came out really good, I think. So moving on to the design part. I'm going to be using spider gel. I know it's something you don't really see much anymore. There for a while, it was super popular, and then it just kind of faded away. I still have my 2 little pots of black and white, and I'm glad I do because this was perfect for this design. So I've already got my thumb and my pinky done. What I'm doing is I'm just making a very like chaotic looking abstract kind of design with my spider gel, just kind of stringing it all over and making it, like I said, chaotic. And yeah, no particular pattern or anything. I just wanted it to be kind of look like it had kind of just splattered everywhere. So I will tell you, this stuff is messy. You're going to get it on your skin more than likely. You want to get that off as quickly as you can when that happens. Especially the black, especially, is super messy. Wow. I got this stuff all over me, even on my other hand, and yeah, this was just a mess. But yeah, I am getting that spider gel on there, what I think looks good, and then I'm giving each finger a little flash cure, only for just a very few seconds, because chrome is going to go on top of it, and with chrome you got to be kind of specific sometimes with the cure time. So yeah, I just was giving it a few seconds per nail, just enough so if I bumped it, it wasn't going to just spread, all over everything. And so yeah, I'm going to finish out these last couple of nails, and then it is chrome time. So, got my spider gel all cured, and now I'm getting my chrome on there. I've got them all laid out in rainbow order so I can just go down each nail and not have to worry about, what I'm putting on. I'm doing one color at a time I'm going across every nail, and then I'm moving on to the next color. What I'm basically doing is just, I'm trying to think in terms of like, I'm trying to get a stripe of chrome powder across each nail, so it's about the same amount, like the same amount of red on each nail, same amount of orange on each nail, and so they kind of all match. As I change colors, I'm trying to overlap the chromes so they blend. I mean, it's with this design, if they don't blend very well, you're not really going to be able to tell, but being the perfectionist that I am, I'm trying to blend them as much as I can. So yeah, that chrome powder set, this came from is the one I showed you all a few videos ago. This is one of the reasons I bought this specific set, because I wanted to have these rainbow colors in case I wanted to do something like this. And this worked out perfectly. I ended up using gold for the yellow, but yeah, other than that, I had the perfect rainbow colors for this set. So Melissa, you had that suggestion for using these, so here you go. But yeah, I'm just getting my chrome powders on each nail and gonna make a mess and a half. You'll see on my palm here in a minute. It's just, gosh, this is a messy process. But I'm just, in between colors, I'm kind of wiping off my little applicator. You can change applicators in between colors if you want, so you have a fresh one for each color. I was just kind of wiping it off. Where they were going to blend anyway, I wasn't too worried about it. But, so yeah, once I get all the color on every nail and get every, every part of the rainbow on there, this is what we've got. So I'm going to close those up so I don't knock them over, because I will. And yeah, you see my palm, my hands were covered. And so now what I'm doing, I've gotten another clean applicator, and I'm going across again, kind of in the order that I went before color-wise, and kind of flipping my, the little chrome applicator over and switching sides for when I'm changing colors, so I don't get, like blue in my red or whatever, So yeah, I'm just kind of going back over and rubbing all this in, and this will help make them good and shiny, and start taking some of that excess chrome off of here. I do have a lot of excess. It's kind of sticking to the nail. Where I went on a buffed surface, it wasn't too bad, but I did have to get a little detailer brush out and dip it in some cleanser and get after a few spots that would not cooperate. But mostly it worked out fine. So yeah, I don't know why I decided to stick to those few spots, but it worked out. So yeah, now I'm just kind of finishing that up, getting all the excess off, getting it all rubbed in, trying to get the stuff that's stuck to the parts of the nail I don't want it to be. I'm trying to kind of rub some of that off too. And I think here I got a little sponge out. This is just a gel sponge. You can use the regular kind of makeup sponges that most people like to use with chrome if you want. This was just the first thing I grabbed. So yeah, I'm just kind of rubbing over some more, rubbing that chrome in, getting it all shined up, getting all the excess off. Then I'm going to get my duster brush and go over it. And then I think I go back in with a sponge a little more. And then we can get the top coat on. Okay, so yeah, this is almost the finished nail. I am using my shiny LGN Pro top coat. This is the bottle I have reserved for chrome powder only. And I'm going to go in with kind of a thicker layer of top coat than I would usually use, so I didn't start dragging that chrome powder back off. I wasn't really sure how well it was adhering to that spider gel. It seemed like it was fine, but I was afraid when I put the top coat on, it was going to start dragging it back off. So yeah, I'm just using a little bit more top coat than I usually would and kind of floating it over at first. And then I go back around and make sure I've gotten all the edges and everything. I really wish that I wanted to leave like the nude part matte and just do the chrome shiny. And that could be done with a detailer brush and way more patience than I was willing to devote to these. But yeah, I think that would have looked so much better if the background had been matte and just the little lines of chrome had been shiny. But yeah, oh my goodness. Just thinking about that makes me tired. So yeah, I'm just making the whole nail shiny. Here in just a second, I will, I think it's here in just a second. Hang on, I'm getting to it. Since I'm using a lot of top coat, I do this step every time anyway, but this set, it was particularly necessary. So I'm going back in and dragging the excess. Man, everybody on the road is so loud today. Dragging the excess off my brush and then kind of going down the sides of my nails and pulling off any extra top coat. And then I'm going to flip my hand over so it comes to the center and helps take away some of that texture. Excuse me. And then I'm going to cure it, and that's where we are now. They're done. Oh, I'm so happy about these. They came out exactly how I had them pictured in my mind. That never happens hardly, like the picture you have in your head. Yeah, so I do have a question. For my next Pride set, because I want to get in one more set, I may be thinking about using one of these sets of decals. I think either one would be fine. The Lisa Frank or the Care Bears. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50. So y'all let me know what you would like to see. But yeah, really, really happy with these. I love them. This just made me so happy. So y'all let me know what you think before you leave. Subscribe, like, comment, hype, and yeah, give me your opinion. Thanks for sticking around. I will see y'all next time. Bye.